In 5, 4, 3.
Action.
Welcome back. I'm Heath.
I'm Bernie.
And this the Heath and Bernie show. Yeah. You're terrible. Hi, how are y'all doing? Welcome back to the Heath and Bernie show. This is the post 4th of July show. We were going to do a show prior to 4th, but we went on a trip and spent some time down with some friends. We have an annual trip that we do with some friends of ours, a friend of ours.
Not annual trip, annual 4th
annual
of
4th
July.
of July. There we go. Thing that we do with a friend of ours. And so we went out of town. We got in the RV and we drove down to
Salisbury.
Yeah, we got an Airbnb in Salisbury, just to get away and do something different for us.
Making new traditions.
Yeah, making new memories and so forth. And then we went down. We did a day trip down to Ocean City.
Yep,
that was fun.
It was hot and fun.
Right. Bernie was out. Bernie's not a big fan of the beach or a big fan of like sun. She's not a fan of sun and heat.
Well, water's not my friend because it could kill you. So, and the beach makes me dizzy, and the water go up and back up. That makes me dizzy. I don't know why, but it does.
So we went to the beach and it was fun because we just started to get in the car and drive down to Ocean City with no plan.
Right.
We were like, oh, we're in Salisbury. We're about 50 minutes from Ocean City. Let's just go down there. Yeah. And because we had the RV, we were concerned about parking. But I was like, RV parking is not a problem until it's a problem. So we decided to go down there. And then we saw this vintage thrift shop that some of our friends wanted to go to. Well, one of our friends. Should we say who it was?
I don't. Is that a problem?
I don't think it is.
I don't think so either.
Well, we were hanging with Larice and her two daughters, Heaven and Hannah.
Yeah.
And so when we were driving down there, they wanted to stop at this vintage thrift shop because they like to do thrifting. I like to do it as well. And so we stopped there, although that joint was hot. It had no AC. It was like 90.
It was a sauna.
94 degrees outside, and inside it felt like 113.
I walked in and walked right back out because it was a sauna. It was cooler outside. So I didn't get to look at nothing. First of all, I noticed when I walked in, it looked more like a junk store than a thrift store.
It did give me Fred Sanford vibes.
Yes, everything was piled on it. I couldn't even see aisles or whatever. It was it was overwhelming.
Yeah. So when we left there, we were like, okay, what are we going to do now? So let's go to the beach. So we walked across the street and went to the beach.
The girls wanted to put their feet in the water.
Yeah. So when we got to the beach, there was a band that was playing musical chairs. So we watched them. And then we walked over to the beach and then we took some beach photos. Hung out there, and then I can tell Bernie's back was getting wet and she was sweating.
My gosh. Is that anybody? Why would you even mention that?
Because it was hot. It was hot.
Really?
Everybody was sweating. Everybody was sweating.
Well, talk about your back, not mine.
Okay.
Jesus.
It was hot and everybody was sweating, so we decided to walk back and and we decided to walk back. I went and got the RV because it was going to be a nice little long
yeah, because it was a long walk to where we walked to that. The blocks are really, really long.
Yeah. And so I got the RV and I met them over at 7-Eleven. And then while we were in the RV, we're like, okay, where are we going to go to eat? And we found this restaurant, fire, called Hooked. That was about maybe a mile up the street. Man, that food, they had these pesto French fries. Pesto French fries. I'm a French fry lover. I be loving French fries. And they put the pesto on. Ooh, them joints were so good.
Yeah, they were.
And what'd you have?
I had the salmon, but I had some of those fries. Those were good too. But then you guys got calamari and you got the shrimp tacos. That looked really good.
It was good.
Everything looked good. And Reese them got the scallion or something.
Scallops and yeah, they shared the scallops. Yeah, that was really good. So we did that, and then we went back to the Airbnb and then just watched movies and hung out for the night. So that's why we didn't do an episode last week. So this week we're coming here with an episode that we had been talking about doing ever since we started doing the podcast. Because Bernie, one of the things that, as I've say all the time, a lot of couples are focusing on bills, businesses, babies, and the Bible, and they forget about prioritizing fun in their relationship. And so one of the fun things that we do is watch TV together. And so we have been watching TV together for a long time. We've been married 25 years, so obviously. But one thing that just happened to be a pastime of ours is like once we start watching a TV show together, it's like, okay, we have to watch that show together. We can't not watch it alone. If you do, it's like you get fussed out or cussed out. Not really, but it's like, why'd you watch it? Oh, so you just gonna leave me behind now? And it's kind of like a taboo in us.
Sometimes I ask you, you still like that show? You want to watch that show? Because you be like, no, yeah, I want to see. I'm like, darn it, because I was ready to go to the next episode.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to coordinate schedules and you're trying to like make sure that I'm available, you're available, and then if you don't have no time and you want to watch a show but I'm not there, it's like you gotta wait. And come to find out, a whole bunch of other people be doing that too. I be seeing people on YouTube that they do skits about watching TV shows together and like getting mad at your spouse or your girlfriend, boyfriend for watching it without them.
They be pretending that they don't know what happened. They done already seen it all.
Yeah, have you ever done that, Bernie?
No, I don't think so. Not that I can remember. I don't think so. I'm not good at keeping secrets or lying.
Right. Thank God. So as you heard me try to stumble through the intro, and as our title says, we're talking about our ultimate TV show picks for couples that create memories. And so what we did a scientific method. You know me, I do a lot sometimes. So we're going to have our top 15 shows that we're going to share with you all and kind of why we like them and stuff like that. What we did is we broke out, we'll give you our criteria making guide and how we came up with our list and how we ranked them in order.
That was scientific?
That was scientific.
Oh.
Yeah. So
that was just Heath being Heath.
Yeah. Heath was being Heath and scientifically.
I know.
The scientific part of Heath.
I'm used to it now.
So what we did is we took all the shows that we watched together and then we rated them on a scale from 1 to 5. And we did 6 categories. We did relatability. We rated from 1 to 5, meaning like how relatable were are the characters in the show? Because that, if you feel like you can relate to them, then it's something that you feel more connected to. We had drama, like the level of drama that a show brings, and I don't know what determines what drama is, but I guess we use our own definition of drama.
Yeah, in my mind, I was thinking like anything that might bring up an issue, like, I don't know, like even on like, well, I don't want to mention the shows yet, but some of the shows that are not drama filled still had drama because it was a problem in there.
Yeah. The next criteria was action. So I wanted to differentiate drama and action because Bernie likes shows that have drama in it, and I like shows that have action in it.
Okay, good, because I was going to say, I didn't even ask you what the definition of action was, because I just assumed it was what did I just say? I just assumed that it was a bunch of like bombing, shooting, killing, things flipping upside down, big trucks and trains falling off bridges, and
that's the kind of stuff that I like.
I know that so when I was doing the rating, I was thinking of that as action.
Right. And the Bernie likes drama stuff, like the Housewives and stuff like that, and just stuff that I can't stand.
But I like that drama. I like reality drama, some reality drama to a certain extent, and I like other drama that's not reality drama.
Right. So because Bernie's more of the drama, has affinity toward drama, I wanted to put drama in there, but I have an affinity towards action, so I wanted to put action in there.
Yeah, like one of the drama shows that I watched, that's not reality, that I just watched on, I think it was Prime or something, and it's the new Fatal Attraction. See, that's drama.
Yeah,
because the girl was great.
And I don't watch that.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to see that, but this was a more up to date Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't want to see
that's
that.
what I mean by I know, but that's what I mean by drama.
Yeah,
Like,
and
that's
then
not always reality drama. It's other type of drama.
so drama, action, suspense. So
I like
suspense
suspense
is
too.
like cliffhangers and things that be like I don't know what's gonna happen,
Yeah,
it
I
leaves
love
you in suspense
those.
there's a level of excitement that you have like okay, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen next? And then the fourth one or fifth one, fifth one was unpredictability. So one of the things that I put this in here because one of the things I don't like is when you're watching a show and you can tell how that show is going to end. You can tell everything that's going to happen between
I could
from the
write it.
beginning. Yeah, basically. So I don't like unpredictable shows. So if you got me shook and thinking about like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? I don't know. Then that's a good show. It doesn't have to be.
Like
I differentiate that from suspense because I guess suspense is more so plot, but unpredictability is more so story.
like the movie Missing that we watched over the 4th of July.
Yeah, we saw Missing. I don't know if you haven't seen Missing. Missing is
my
a great.
gosh.
It's on
That was good.
Netflix now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you got to check out Missing because you won't know what
It's
is
happening.
You won't know what is happening. And then the last one is immersiveness. So immersiveness is how well does the show grab you and put you into its world, and you are just immersed into that world, even if it's like a kind of a story that is sci-fi, it's not realistic, or a story that is something that is like very action based, but it's not anything that you would ever do, but you're so immersed in the story. You feel like you're forgetting about the outside world and you buy into the plot. You buy into the story. You buy into these characters that have special powers. Like remember you used to watch that show Hero?
Oh yeah, the kids had powers.
Yeah,
and stuff.
the kids had powers. It's like, okay, you kids got powers, but the story was written so well, you bought into that.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the criteria.
I think I fell off of that one.
I think it just stopped. No, it stopped.
Oh, I thought you kept watching it and then I wasn't watching it anymore. Did it stop? I think
both happened.
A season, I stopped. I didn't start back up in a season or something.
Yeah, I think both happened.
Yeah.
So relatability, drama, action, suspense, and
remember
unpredictability and immersiveness. Those were our criteria. We rated each of those 1 to 5, and then we took our 5 our ratings, combined them together, and came up with the average score. You want to say something?
I was just thinking about when you brought up Hero. I thought about that other show we used to watch with the girl was a fighter. She's like, she has a billionaire baby items now. She don't
Alias. Jennifer Garner?
Not her. We used to watch that too.
I think that was our first. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't our first.
That was the other one, like McKnight or something. Something McKnight. The girl.
Drink some water. What are you trying to still talk for? Stop talking and drink some water. Feel better?
Ally McBeal or something?
Ally McBeal.
No, not her. But we used to watch that too.
We used to watch that.
But the girl was a fighting girl. She would fight stuff like Alias, but it was Dark Angel or something.
Dark Angel. It was Dark Angel with Jessica Alba.
She's like a billionaire doing baby stuff now.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. We used to watch that. That was good.
Jessica Alba. That's her name. I said Ally McBeal. Whew.
The Alba was in there.
So that's exactly why I went there.
Ally McBeal.
Yep.
Okay. It's standard in the Wiggins household. All right. So let's jump into our list. So we're going to go from 15 down to 1. So number 15.
15 meaning?
Yeah, we have our list of the top 15. And so we're going to go backwards from starting at number 15. Number 15 is a show that we stumbled across because I think we saw it on The View.
Yeah, I saw them on The View, and they was talking about it was coming out, and I was like, oh, that looks interesting.
And it's Act Your Age.
Yeah.
Act Your Age is a story. It's almost they build it as like the Black Golden Girls.
Yeah.
They're all of them are divorced. No, one of them is
a widow.
The other one is divorced, and then another one, she's divorced. Or
I don't know what
married.
she is. She's just wild.
But it's 3 women. They all live in the same apartment. It's set in D.C. And we were like, let's check it out. Let's support the Black creators and TV shows. And it started out good.
It's a little. This is the thing. It's a little corny, but the one who makes it funny is the light skinned one. What's her name? Uh, I don't know her name, but she the one
Tisha
who played in
Campbell.
Martin. Yeah, Tisha in the show. Her character is the most funniest because she says stuff that um, just little sly stuff that would normally be said in those environments. So she's funny. And they have somebody, the other, Kim Whitley's name is Bernadette, and they be calling her Bernie and stuff. And I'm like, I'm on the show. Yay. I don't know a lot of Bernadettes.
Yeah.
Do you know any
No.
besides me?
No.
See, me either, except famous people. Bernadette Stannis, Bernadette
Peters.
Yep. I don't know any Bernadettes.
So this is it's an interesting show. It is predictable on the predictability level. It's kind of predictable, but Keisha, who is Tisha Campbell, that's her name. Yeah, Tisha Campbell. She is very funny, and she brings the whole thing together. So that is At Your Age. It's on Bounce TV.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
Bounce TV or Ion. It says right here.
I think it's Bounce. It is Bounce.
Yeah, it's Bounce TV. We have YouTube TV. That's where we watch all our TV shows from. And so I don't know if you're a cable provider or if you have access to that, or if that's a free one, if you have access to that channel. But check it out. Okay, number 14 is a show we stumbled across in the pandemic. It's called Grand Crew.
Oh, yeah.
Grand Crew is about some friends always find the humor in career moves, dating, drama, and more as they live their best lives as young Black professionals in LA. The crew consists of Noah, a hopeless romantic, in too much of a hurry to settle down, his sister Nikki, who lives in a life. It's a lot to read here.
Yeah, that is a lot to read.
Anyway, so it's about these people. The nexus of their story is that they hang out at a winery.
Yeah.
And they always drink wine. That's the thing. They drink wine. And then they, have life experiences as young Black professionals
storylines, different things that go on in their lives. But it's
people hooking up with other people, and
one and two of them are siblings.
Yeah, it's funny. The person who makes the whole show
is
funny
the sweatsuit.
Is, you think it's him?
Who you gonna say?
I think it's her.
She's funny too.
What's her name? Nicole Byer.
She's hilarious, but the guy in the sweatsuit be saying funny stuff too. He be joning on.
Yeah.
He be joning on everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's a comedian, isn't she?
She is a comedian.
Yeah.
And she's the one that does Wipeout.
Yeah.
So this show is it's kind of was funny.
Yeah, it's starting to get
silly.
corny now.
Really corny.
Yeah, it's getting really silly, but it's not on right now. I don't even know if it's coming back.
They have 2 episodes. They have 2 seasons. So
yeah, that was the second season we watched.
And it was on. We
NBC.
got it on Peacock first. It was first on Peacock.
Yeah.
And we had Peacock, and then then they put it on NBC.
Yeah.
So that was one that they
but it's a little corny, but it is
corny, but it is funny to watch. If I were to watch it now, I probably wouldn't watch it really like that.
Yeah, I don't know, because it had a lot of innuendos of things that that's what the guy in the black sweatsuit would always say, things that normally would be said only like in our culture that you would know about, which makes it funny.
Right. He was funny, and he did. Yeah, he was.
He does that all the time. So,
but then the guy who irritates me.
Which one?
Noah, the one with the one who's always trying to find love. He's just so irritating. His just personality is irritating to me.
Yeah.
And his hairstyle, I can't stand his hairstyle. But that's one of the things that I think makes the story good, because you have the people that you can relate to, and then you have the people that you can't stand, and you can relate to not standing them people in real life.
Yeah.
So you can
true.
I look forward to not liking him or his storylines because he's irritating.
Yeah.
Okay. So
the other one in the glasses is a little irritating too. The nerdy guy that's married.
Yeah,
he's irritating too, but yeah.
Yeah. But it's a decent show overall. Okay, number 13. Number 13 is Grownish.
Yes, Grownish. Heath doesn't like this show anymore. I still watch it though. We started off watching this together.
Oh, hold on. There we go. Yeah, Grownish. The final season. Oh, good. We did start off watching this together because it was very. It reminded me of the different world. It was like
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
new
the new.
generation's version of a different world when it first started because the characters were like in college. They were black. They weren't part of the HBCU, but they all hung around
Yeah.
other minorities, and you had a few people that have that they hung with that was of mixed race or different races.
But you didn't like it no more because that girl got on your nerve. The main
Yeah,
character.
just you know what, just
What's
like
her name? Shahari. I don't know. I don't know her name.
yeah, I don't know who she is.
But she got on your nerves. 'Cause
Just
she said she's so selfish.
Yeah, she was so selfish. She was so self-centered. She was so selfish.
You
selfish.
can say
Just like in Different World, I could not stand Denise.
Oh.
I could not stand Denise.
Okay.
Denise got on my nerves by her indecisiveness, her little flightiness, her little butterflies things. It was so irritating.
Always issues.
She was so irritating.
But you know what's funny?
And she reminded me a lot of my sister. That's probably why I couldn't stand
her. That's why you couldn't stand it. But you know what? Because we started off when this first came out watching it together, but then he couldn't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
So he missed a few seasons. But in one of those seasons, not too long toward the end, like, I don't know, maybe last season, I don't know when I was watching because I was still watching it. They had an episode where they talked about her being so selfish and it's all about her.
They had many episodes talking about that.
But they all got on her about that. I was like, oh, he would have loved this episode. They never really like pointed out like you're so selfish. It was all about like everything having to be around her.
Did
like
they go
everybody
back in history and show everything that she did?
No.
Oh, I really want them to do that.
No,
I'd go back and watch that episode.
The specific show, there was a problem, and then other people had problems, but she always was bringing it back to herself, and everybody had pointed that out. I was like, oh, he would have liked this.
Yeah, I mean, her whole that's been her whole style. It's even more so than bring everything back to herself. The things that she even was doing and pursuing and wanting out of like life and her relationships were always like it was always like, am I the person that is great or somebody else is great? Or how come somebody else is getting more attention? Oh my goodness, they want attention. Oh, he likes me, but I don't know what I want. I want the other person too. I don't know. I want both of my. It was always so self-centered. I couldn't stand her.
Yeah.
She got on my nerves.
So he fell off on this one.
Yeah. I was glad when she like left college. There was like one season where she left college and went and worked at a job.
Full time, yeah.
And then she was at a job and I think she slept with that rapper.
No, she didn't.
She didn't sleep with him.
They tried to say.
And she walked out the room after after it was late at night.
Off his bus.
Because
everybody was
thought
partying
that
on the
he
bus.
slept with her. And she was like, oh no, that didn't happen. And I'm going to quit. And then you have your dream job that you went to school for. You left school to go do your dream job, and then you get it the minute a minute controversy flares up. You like, I'm going to quit and I'm going to go back to school. Oh my gosh, I can't stand it. I don't want to talk about this no more.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay.
Heath doesn't watch this one anymore, but. I still watch it. It's kind of corny, and it's really not about her anymore. It's about the older brother. She comes in every now and then.
Yeah. See, I don't. Yeah, I'm done with it. So the next one, this is number 12. Number 12 is Grown and Gospel.
Oh boy, this was real irritating. So many people got on my nerves in this one.
You know how they have reality shows about stars and stars' children. Well, this is the gospel version of that.
Well, they have R&B one. It's called, what is it called? Grown and Hip Hop.
Yeah,
Growing Up Hip Hop. That's what it's called.
I don't watch that.
I've never watched it.
Yeah,
but this is the one that's like comparable to that, Grown and Gospel, because these are the growing up hip hop is about the children of the famous hip hop people like Run DMC Kids was on there. Some other rapper people. I don't know. But so this is the other show that has the famous gospel singers' kids. So like Fred Hammond's daughter's on here. One of the Clark sisters, Dorinda's daughter.
Cole's daughter,
The
Nikki.
Page sisters, one of
The
their
Page sisters, yeah. Tasha Page Lockhart,
is on
who has her
here.
own album. She was on Sunday's Best.
Yeah, I
I
don't
think
know if she won. Did she
I
win?
think she
Yeah,
won.
that girl could sing.
She can sing.
Yeah. And then I don't know who the
Who else the other
the
person?
guy is a producer.
Jay Brooks. Jay Brooks. That's his name.
Yeah, but he's somebody's son. His father
He's
don't
Bishop
sing.
Brooks. I don't know who he is.
Anyway, but oh my gosh,
Brianne Hannon, Fred Hammond's daughter.
Yeah.
And then Shayna Wilson Williams. I don't know who she is, but she's a local. These are
and then
all,
the
mostly
irritant
from Detroit.
of most of all was the Elijah boy. I don't
Yeah.
even know why.
This little boy
who
with the
is
blonde
his
hair.
parent? I don't know who his parent or who.
He was
Who is his? Who sings in
the
here?
most. He was doing the
He
absolute
does
most.
way too much.
I don't know
He's
who
too
he
much.
is, who his parents are. I think his father's a pastor of a church in Detroit.
He
But he was doing the most. He was like the guy, the villain. He was the villain on there that you had to put on the show so people would not like somebody. And he was him.
Yeah, he just talked too much. He just did way too much
Very
all the
flamboyant.
time.
Everything
Very
was about
selfish.
him.
All about him. Ooh, it's
Even on
horrible.
somebody else's day, on somebody else's birthday, he would hog the spotlight. He would make an entrance that was so
He suck up the air in the
avant-garde.
room.
Yeah, he just sucks up the attention of the room. When you walk in a room, you come in with a big huge fur coat on and it was just so awful.
Much.
But the show was interesting to see the lives of these gospel artists, because they're all like gospel artists in some respects. But it did shed a little light on Fred Hammond's daughter and Fred Hammond's daughter, him and their relationship.
And Tasha Page Lockhart.
Oh yeah.
The girl can sing, but oh my gosh, I see why she sing the songs that she sing. Like I love her song "Why Not Me," and it's about going through all this drama. Well, I see why she sings that stuff, because her life is just what? Jeez.
Yeah.
It is so much of what she's singing about.
In this episode, she talked about, or in this series, she talked about her and her husband were going through
Second husband. I mean,
her second husband were going through a rough time, and
they were getting ready to get a divorce. They were separated.
Yeah, they were separated. I don't know what she was thinking, but she thought let me have you come over back to the house. I'm gonna have a violinist come and play. They lived in like a small.
That was her place.
Modest,
that wasn't his.
Okay, whatever. A small, modest house with like a living room and dining room and kitchen in the same space. Like I can't even call it open space. But it was a small house. This is a small house. And so they had a cook in the kitchen.
She had a cook
in the kitchen. She had a violinist playing violins in the living room.
Standing in front of the couch.
And then they were sitting at the dining room table.
About 5 feet away from him.
Exactly. Having a romantic dinner. And he's looking at her like,
First of all, they're in the middle of.
Are you seriously trying to really
a separation and issues? So that's not what. Why you? That's not what you should be doing. No. That he is not at that point in his mind.
And then she's like, "I'm gonna shoot my shot at her husband." She's
so embarrassing.
I'm going to put some. I can't remember how she did it, but she basically
left and said, I'm gonna go, because she had on an outfit, and then she came back with something else
and some lingerie while the violinist and the cook are still there, and was like, I want you to come back to the bedroom with me.
No,
and
she said something.
I don't know what she said.
I know it was,
but
too
it
much.
was something. It was an attempt to be romantic. I'm not throwing shade on her romanticism, but it wasn't the time, ma'am. It was not the right time, because you had company. You had company over. And what are they going to do while y'all are back there? And y'all are going through the middle of a separation and trying to figure out if y'all going to stay together.
Right. How did you get from there to there?
Yeah.
It's like a whole bunch of middle
stuff. You didn't let the man transition at all. But she eventually went back to because he was staying at a hotel. Later on that night, after everything left.
Because he's just in town.
She went back to the hotel and then got it in. So he probably just didn't want to do it with all that stuff going on. But it did reveal some things about her that, you got a lot of stuff going on.
And it wasn't just that, it's just other things in the show. That's why sometimes I hate seeing these shows, because
we did a segment about that one time.
Yeah, because when I watched Mary, I didn't like Erica no more because she was so mean to Tina. And when I watched that show, with those preachers.
Yeah.
I still love Noel Jones. Now I don't like him because they just show you too much of their regular life. I don't want to know about these people's regular life. It's too much.
Okay,
He
the
finally married
next
that
one.
lady though.
I know. After a long time of
Well, she was in her
keeping
third.
her.
Yeah, whatever. Everybody do their own things. To each his own.
So the next show that we watched, we are on number 11, is a show that you all are probably familiar with, Black Love.
Oh yeah, I love this
Black
show.
Love had 6 seasons on OWN, and it was really, really good.
It was fun. I loved watching that.
Yeah,
with
we
the
used to
different
like,
couples.
oh, the new season's on. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
And we would like sit down and watch it together because one, it's about relationships.
Yeah.
It's about Black love in relationships.
Yeah.
And you had like celebrities and a lot of different people in all different walks of life and all different relationship statuses that were together, and they just talked about their journey and talked about certain aspects of their journey. They would have segments about communication, and everybody was talking about communication or having to deal with children or having to deal like
Or
how
sicknesses.
you met. Yeah, sicknesses. And so over the 6 seasons that they had, I think it was 6 seasons, they had a lot of good content. And me and Bernie had it was one of those times where we would pause the TV and be like,
yeah.
what do you do? I do that? Do you think about that? And
Yeah,
so,
we did do that. That was fun. Yeah. You know that one that girl passed away?
Yeah, yeah.
The one that had the bald head, the
Yeah.
later one. I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
But yeah, Black Love was good. Black Love has a whole Instagram page that I follow, and they be sending all these different images and videos. Now I gotta drink some water.
But now how do we get I get a lot of IG Black Love stuff
That's
now.
what I'm talking about.
What is that? I mean,
it's Black Love. They have their own Instagram page.
Now they just do different
Well,
little stuff.
They've been doing that. I don't know what they're doing now.
Well, now they show like this couple was walking down the street. They just show any kind of Black Love type
they
stuff.
show remnants or examples of Black Love.
Okay.
What I don't like about the way that the Black Love images that are portrayed, all of them are like beautiful women that are like a certain size, and men who are a certain size that have like a certain look, and they're like at a wedding, or you're at you're in the vacation in the Bahamas or some very fancy restaurant or some. It's like all the fancy stuff, but the Black Love that like is love is not that all the time.
Yeah. I'm laughing because I just saw one where it was a husband and wife and their baby standing in front of the Eiffel Tower, and they said showing her the Eiffel Tower, so when you try to take it, she's not impressed when you try to take her to Miami.
See, come on, that girl ain't gonna remember nothing about no Eiffel Tower.
That was so funny. And then the way they look back at the camera, like
that girl ain't gonna remember nothing about no Eiffel Tower.
Oh, that was funny.
I think it creates to me a image and a narrative that Black Love are these extravagancies.
I feel like they're not. I feel like I don't think they're trying to do that, but I feel like because the image of Black love or Blackness is so negative all the time on TV, everywhere you go, everything, is always negative. I think they are going out of their way to show that nope, we have this too. We're here, there. We're all sides, and I think
they're not showing
they're not showing all sides because
the what's the word I'm looking for? The everyday Black love.
Well, yeah, they don't because
us sitting on a couch watching TV together.
Well, yes, they do. Sometimes you see stuff like that.
Do they?
Sometimes, yeah.
I just wish
like even the one I just showed you. That was talking about dishwasher stuff.
But that was
It was Black love thing.
A challenge. That was a challenge.
Oh, I didn't know.
A lot of couples were doing that kind of face-to-face arguments.
But
like
no,
that.
Sometimes I saw. Okay, yep, I saw one where they threw all the pillows out on the floor.
Okay.
And they was the baby was in the pillows too, and they was watching the movies. and then they said something about movie night or something, and
Okay.
it's about black. They do show
Well, good.
both.
I didn't see that one, or I don't see that many like them. I kind of was turned uh
And the woman was
cold
hippie.
toward how what?
And the woman was hippie. She wasn't all skinny. She
Oh.
had big hips and stuff like most of us do.
I kind of like I don't want to unfollow them because I like the premise of it, but I just would like to see more stuff like that.
Yeah, I just saw that not too long ago, and it was like there's something said like movie night, and it had one of those big square couches,
Yeah.
but they took all the pillows off, and so all the pillows was in the middle of the floor, and then they was like sitting or laying on the pillows to watch a movie and stuff with the baby. They do both, but you do see more of the extravagant ones more.
Yeah. So Black Lovers is definitely something that you should watch and check out if you haven't seen it.
It was good.
Okay, number 10. Let me make sure I don't close this out. And number 10 is a show we stumbled on. Was it on BET? It's called Kingdom Business.
We don't have BET Plus, but I think it came on.
It was on BET.
Oh, regular BET.
Yeah, regular BET.
Yeah.
Kingdom Business was definitely something that we wanted to check out together because it was about the business of church.
Yeah.
And we know that very well. And it had a lot of drama, had a lot of suspense.
Yeah.
You kind of didn't know what was going to happen. Some things were predictable, some things were not predictable.
Yeah.
And it had a huge all-star list. Like Yolanda Adams was the leading actress.
Everybody was in there. But even the boy that sing Chaz Moore, the singer. Moore. Chase Moore, Chaz Moore.
Dante Moore?
No.
Chandler Moore.
Chandler Moore was in there too.
He was in there singing.
I mean, everybody was in there. The one of the Walls girls was in there.
Yeah.
Everybody's in there.
What's the name?
Tamar.
Corinne Hawthorne was in there.
Oh yeah.
Michael J. White. These aren't all the people, but
Yolanda
it was
Adams,
Kurt Franklin was in there. He was Kurt Franklin was
he a ghost or was he real?
He was a prophet.
Oh.
Kurt Franklin was a prophet that was was prophesying to Yolanda Adams. Yolanda Adams was the pastor's wife.
Oh, she was terrible too.
Oh, she was an evil.
Oh, she evil.
She was cussing and everything.
She was terrible.
And then she was married to Michael Beach. I don't know if you can see him.
He's played in a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he was having an affair. Well, I don't want to give it all away.
Yeah, don't get all in it.
But it was good. It was messy.
Yeah.
But it was still good though.
Yeah.
I thought that the storyline was good and it ended with a cliffhanger.
I wonder if it's coming back.
I hope it. I hope
it has to
it's
because the
gotta
way
come
it
back.
ended.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't know how good the ratings were, but
Yeah.
I think it's definitely worth coming back because it was definitely interesting to watch. I'll say.
Yeah. I was just shocked at all the different people in there. You don't normally have all those people in one show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 9.
That was number
10.
What was 11? Oh, Black Love.
Black Love.
Okay.
Make sure I don't mess this up.
Oh, was that number 9?
is one of
Wonder
our
Years.
favorites.
I love Wonder Years.
Wonder Years.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. I just love the whole family, black 1960s black family story. It's like I saw the father on The View, and he was talking about the reason why he liked the show. It's like because when you see 1960, the other Wonder Years, when you see 1960 stuff, we're nowhere to be found. But it's like, no, we were here too. So
yeah,
this is what was happening during this time when we were here. So it's really good. I love this show.
So Wonder Years is a show that it's narrated by Don Cheadle, which he's hilarious.
He is funny.
And then it's starring Dule Hill.
Yeah.
Elisha Williams is the young boy. He's the
Wonder Years boy.
But to me, he's not the star of the show.
No,
the star of the show is
it's
the father. And then I love his wife too.
Yeah, the mother.
Saquon. I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but it's a very good show. It's set back in 1969, and this is their second season.
It's like it was before because remember they had a show when Martin Luther King got killed, and he got killed in 1968.
Right, but now it's a new season. It's now 1969.
Oh, okay, yeah, but just in the 60s.
Yeah, but it's set in Alabama, So you know what was popping in Alabama back in the 60s, but it doesn't really focus on like the
Racism.
interactions between racism. They acknowledge it
It's
like, okay,
there,
yeah, it's
but
here. This is what's going on. But it shows a black family being a black
they're
family.
alive. Yeah,
It
just
is so
living in a house
relatable,
and
I
eating
guess, for
dinner at
me.
the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, he's a junior high schooler, and so they are like, you know, in junior high school, you're just doing all the weird, corny, awkward stuff. You started getting the girls.
It's like sibling rivalry all the time because
Yeah,
she's
he
the
got an
older
older
sister.
sister.
Oh, that's why
I
you
had
could
an
probably
older sister.
relate. And I had an older everything. So, and it shows their little rivalry, and then, or when they get in trouble, the punishments that they get from their black parents or what be happening.
The sayings that are said by the mother or the father.
Yeah,
at a given
especially
point
the
in time.
father. It's so cool. The father is so cool.
Yeah, we love watching this show because it's so nostalgic in some respects, and then it talks about issues that, you know, we dealt with when we were kids.
Mm-hmm. It's a good show. Real good
that's
show.
one of our favorites.
Yeah.
Then number 9, that was number 9. Number 8 is one that should be familiar to y'all. Is the show that we did a whole podcast on, Marry Me Now.
Yeah, this was a crazy one. Kind of like my Married at First Sight stuff.
Yeah. I think I was reading something on my phone, like some news article about, there's a new show that's coming out on it's on OWN, on OWN TV, and it's called Marry Me Now. I was like, this would be a good show for us to like review and just put some content out there. And we ended up like reviewing the whole show and the whole season rather. And it was interesting. We was fussing and arguing the whole time, yelling at the TV.
Well, we were.
So we definitely were engaged.
Yeah, because some just didn't make sense. So why you wanted somebody to marry you right?
It was
then
about.
and there.
We didn't say what it was about.
Oh, right.
It's about. What you talking about?
Well, it's about a couple. They were together for could be 1 year, 2 years, a month, or whatever. I don't know. They were just together for a while, and usually the woman. Wanted the man to marry her. So instead of waiting for him to ask, she would set up like we're going to meet, or like, we're going to go horseback riding, but really it's a whole wedding when he show up, and she's proposing to him, to saying, can you marry me now? And then they supposed to go off and get married right there at that moment.
Yeah.
Was it ever a man doing it?
No.
It was always the woman.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Is marry me.
Oh, that's right, because they waiting on the man. I can't remember.
She if he said yes, then they had to get married that day.
Right then. Like within the couple of hours.
It was
and some people did it, but I wondered to this day if any of those who did go ahead and get married, if they still together.
I think they are.
Well,
I wonder. So one of the people who we did a review on, one of the shows, one of the episodes, the woman who asked her boyfriend to marry her,
which one was that?
Commented in.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She commented on our YouTube page.
Did he say yes?
Yeah, he said yeah.
Oh,
he said yeah. And she commented on our YouTube page and was like, "Oh, thank you for the post and everything." She's like, "Other people have been so mean in the comments and stuff like that, and some throwing shade and stuff. So thank you for giving an honest reaction to the episode." And so I reached out to her, and we were just going back and forth in the comments on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, this is it's interesting to get connected to somebody who's actually been on the show."
Yeah.
So it was kind of interesting seeing that, and then all the other things that happened and the other shows. It was
crazy because one couple had 3 kids, and she this would drive me crazy.
Oh my gosh.
She had 3 kids, and then she did the whole set them up to say, "Okay, marry," brought them to some places like, "I want you to marry me now," whatever. And his mother, oh my gosh, he was a mama's boy because his mother was all up in their business.
Oh, yeah.
And he would do what she say or whatever. And so he kept, at first he said, yeah, but then when they was at the wedding, he was like, it's just not right. I feel like it's not right, or something like, it's not traditional. It shouldn't be done this way. Well, you got 3 kids, sir.
Wow.
Sir. Because he's worried about it being, I'm the one that should have asked. I'm the one that.
Well, what you waiting on then, sir? What took you so long?
If you talk about it's not done right and you want to stay in the traditions thing, I think you done passed that bridge. That train done passed the 3 kids ago.
Yeah.
That you done missed that train. So that was so irritating. Anyway.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff that was irritating.
Yeah, this show was it was very stressful. I knew it was gonna be though.
So that was one. I don't know if you want to. If you want to, y'all could watch it.
How would they watch it? Because it ain't out there no more. I mean it's on demand or something?
Yeah, it's on demand.
Oh.
But if you want to, you could watch it. So that was number 8. No, that's number 8. So number 7.
I don't know how that got way up there because it got on my nerves.
I know. I think it was the unpredictability of it.
Oh, it was very unpredictable.
Is Special Forces World's Toughest Test.
This was pretty good.
This was very good.
Yeah.
So this had the action that I like.
Yeah, yeah.
I love movies that have like special forces, CIA,
blowing up
stuff blowing up, people
racing in cars, flipping off all the Mission Impossible stuff that Mission Impossible be doing. That's what I love
movies and stuff like that. And it comes from me being a kid. I used to, hide and seek was like, I was really good at it. So like sneaking around and going places and not getting caught. And we used to play this game called Manhunt, which is basically a larger version of hide and seek where you had the whole neighborhood and they had to find you.
Oh my, the whole neighborhood.
The whole neighborhood.
I'm not looking through this whole neighborhood.
It was called Manhunt. So
oh my gosh.
Hiding in places and then coming out and then not getting caught was like a childhood pastime of mine. So seeing like special forces stuff like that was like exciting.
You would have loved being on this show.
I would absolutely have loved being on this show.
You would have loved it.
It was a episode. Well, it was basically the premise of it is they take
movie
special
stars.
Forces, drill sergeants from the Navy SEALs, the Army Special Forces, and then the British Special Forces. Mm. And then they get movie stars. They had Dwight Howard. Let's see if we can go to the.
They were like reality. And then there were sports people.
Yeah. Mel B was on there.
Mel B. Kenya Moore from Atlanta Housewives. Kenya Gosselin.
Moore wasn't on there.
Kenya Moore?
Was he?
Yeah.
Kenya. Yeah. Kenya. Yeah.
From Atlanta Housewives.
Montel Jordan was on there.
Dwight Howard and that Kate Gosselin. Oh my gosh, she was horrible.
Yeah.
She didn't make it nowhere.
Kenya Moore, there you go.
Yeah.
Dr. Drew was on there. Anthony
Scaramucci, the communications for 5 minutes in the White House.
Jamie Lynn Spears, Britney Spears' sister.
And who was that young girl, like 8 is enough girl? Remember her? What was her name?
Oh my gosh.
That's her, Beverly Mitchell. Go down. That's her, Beverly Mitchell. Is her, That's the 8 is enough girl.
Yeah.
And she was just.
So, and the thing I liked about it was that it wasn't trying to vote you out. They weren't like every week they got to vote you out. It was like, Danny Armandello, football player. Every week you had to try to stay. And it was
up to you.
Yeah. Some people quit and some people got sent out because of medical. If they hurt themselves or something. And they were in like they had to be strapped into like a real Humvee, and then that Humvee went down into the water. You had to wait 20 seconds before you can unbuckle your seatbelt and then like swim out. And it was real.
They've had to jump out of a helicopter and onto a X, and if they missed it, and then they had to swim over somewhere.
They had to jump out of a helicopter backwards into the water and just fall head first
on this X. Remember? They were supposed to land on something, but they was missing it. And then if they missed it, then they had to swim to some buoy and then come back or whatever to somewhere, I don't know, and get a key, a flag. And then another time they put them all in a whole bunch of gel and they set them afire.
Oh yeah, they
had to run.
They literally set them on fire.
Yes, and said if you don't do this right, you're gonna get burned.
I was watching Dwight Howard. He was on Club Shay Shay, and he was talking about this thing. This was like before it actually went live. Mm-hmm. And he was talking about how it was so real that he said he had never been so scared in his life. And he had never been through the hardest thing he'd ever been through was this thing right here.
Yeah.
And then what's Kenya Moore?
Kenya Moore, yeah.
She was like, this was one of the toughest things that I've been through. And, you know, she said that they said, you know, show up on this date and be here at this time. And then we're going to take you to Jordan, the country of Jordan. And you're going to do a reality show. She's like, okay, that'd be cool. She ain't know what she was in for.
She was signing up for.
And it was like legit. If you get hurt, then you get hurt and you got to go home. But there's no safety.
They had to do a whole lot of things like real height, real far up in the sky, in the air, like ravine off this, you know, almost
rappelling off of this, mountainside.
Or even the one where it almost looked like a building, like as big as the thing in Seattle. It was just really high. I don't know. But they had to do a lot of crazy. This was worse than that when that guy who takes celebrities through the woods and they have to eat animal. This was worse than that.
Bear or something or other.
Yeah. But it was really good to see all the different people try to hang in there and make it to the end. Most of them, who made it to the end? Maybe one or two? I can't remember.
Only two women did.
Two women, yeah.
Two women
the
did.
Soccer player and
I was so pissed off at Danny
that young
Amendola.
Girl.
Danny Amendola.
Yeah, he quit. Why did he quit? Oh, because it's the sound on his ears.
Yeah. It was like the last day. He had like 2 hours to go.
I don't understand.
It was 2 hours before it was up. And they put it, it's like they had to do an escape task. They had to escape something.
Yeah.
And right before they made it out, they got caught. Of course, I think it was staged.
They wanted them to
get caught. So they made them get caught. And then they put them in like a place where you had to stand up and you couldn't sit down. And then they put like these headphones on your ears.
And you have a
mask over your face, or not a mask, a bag over your face,
head,
headphones on your ears, and it's like of irritating sounds,
like Crying Baby mixed in with rock or something. It was just a bunch of noise,
torture. Yeah. He was like, I can't take it. I got to go.
That's why he left, as opposed like, to all the other stuff he had to do.
You got 2 hours before you're supposed to, before the whole thing ends.
All that other stuff, he left over that as opposed to all that other stuff he had to do.
I was like, dude, what is you doing? And I was pulling for him. I was like, I hope he makes it to the end because I like Danny Amendola. He was drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, that's how. That's why you like him.
Okay, so that was number 7. Number 6, Our Kind of People.
No, we haven't seen this in a long time. What was this about? This was about...
Okay, it was about, what's her name? Yaya.
Yeah.
She was a hairstylist. Mm-hmm. And she...
Oh, now I remember.
Her mother passed.
Yeah.
And her mother lived on an island like Martha's Vineyard, or the black part of like Martha's Vineyard in Boston, in Massachusetts.
Yeah, grew up there.
Yeah, she grew up there, and so there's a rich black family that was led by
that guy who's a good actor. I love him.
Joe Morton.
Yeah, Joe Morton. He is good.
He's a great actor.
He is.
And so it was led by him. He's a billionaire.
He's the father.
He's got a family, and the family is running a business. And so it's like a black businessman billionaire who's running a family, and she is we won't give away the story because I definitely think you all should go watch this. She is coming to Martha's Vineyard for the summer to work on her hair care product and sell it to the black folks in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff takes place.
Oh my God,
whole
so
lot
much
of stuff. I mean, but it was well written.
Yeah.
The story development is very well. The acting is okay.
Yeah.
Acting is okay, but it's a very good show.
I hope it come back though, because the way it went off, I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
Yeah, it's gonna definitely come back. Morris Chestnut is in it.
Yeah.
They had a lot of people in it. It was really, really good. So Our Kind of People, we started watching that, and we couldn't wait till like the new episodes would come out, and then we would watch that together.
What number was that? 7?
That was 6.
Oh, that was 6?
Yep.
Number 5.
Number 5. Oh, number 5. So number 5 is one that you need an app for, which was Love on Stage. Love on Stage. If you're familiar with Kev on Stage has an app that is specific to his program, specific to his platform and his content, where he puts content out there of people that are in his universe. And his wife, Melissa, Mrs. Kev on Stage, had a dating show.
Sorry, excuse me.
It's okay. Had a dating show, and this was really good.
Kind of like, what is this like? It's just like, what are the other shows when they be trying to match?
She was trying to be like Love is Blind, or she was trying to be like sort of like Love is Blind, but she was doing it different, which I appreciated. She was like, we're not trying to vote you off. We're trying to identify one woman who is going to select from a bunch of men, and then her staff would pick the men, and then they would whittle down the men from 3 to 3 men. 3 men that this one woman would go out on dates with. Was it that?
No.
It was 3 couples. It was 3 men and women.
They didn't mix the couples. They just matched them, and that's who who you were with.
But the first season, the focus was on we're hooking the ladies up.
Yes.
It's like we're not trying to find a good match for the men.
Right.
We're trying to find a good match for the ladies.
Yeah.
So there was 3 ladies that they chose, and they tried to find a match for those 3 ladies.
Right. And they let the stage crew, which they call the audience, us people watching, vote on who you think should be with who.
That's right. So
we voted on who we thought should be with who.
So they narrowed it down to 3 ladies, and then it was like 15 men to choose from. And then everybody that is a part of the stage crew, which are the audience, they could pick from the 15 men who you wanted to match with whom, and the person who won out the most, got the most votes. That's who that person was matched with. That's what it was. And then it was like, okay, let's see if we can make this thing work. And this happened during the pandemic, so like they had to do everything over Zoom and everything over.
Like they went on their first date on Zoom dates and all that.
But Melissa did a good job of curating specific activities you can do as a couple that. Like if you don't know each other, that were like really helpful in getting to know each other. And if you want to see it, we won't tell you how it ended, but it was some drama.
And some people, it's always one couple that really get along well. Like I think one is engaged. I think they still together from the first one.
They got married.
They already got married?
They got married.
You saw some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, where'd you see that at? They should be married by now.
On YouTube.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I saw.
You saw the wedding?
Yeah, I saw Kevin and Melissa said they was at the wedding.
Oh wow, okay.
And I saw.
It's gonna be another.
I heard
that
they was getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always one couple that gets along.
I
really
didn't want to say that in case people wanted to see, because now they know one couple made it and got married.
But still, they're not gonna go get this Kevin.
They may have the app. They may go get the app. I don't know.
Well, some people don't mind knowing the end.
Oh, one of the things that we liked about it was that they had people not there as like relationship coaches, but as relationship commentators. And they were talking. Ooh. Remember, they had the Angel, and they had that.
Oh, the panel.
The panel. They had a panel that was commenting on the relationships as things were happening. Yeah. And they were like, oh, I knew she didn't like him. I knew she didn't feel this way about him. And so they were kind of saying the things that we were thinking. Yeah. And we were saying the stuff that we really wanted to say. And so that made it more engaging.
But some of the panel didn't make no sense.
True. Some of them I didn't like.
What show they watching?
Yeah. And they were trying to like make it infer that this is what was being said, but that's not what was being said.
Yeah, a lot of
and because we are relationship, professionals, we knew what was really going on just by watching what was edited, the edited version. And it was irritating us that whenever a commentator or a panelist would say something that wasn't necessarily correct, or they were inferring a lot of stuff was happening that really wasn't happening, that was getting irritating to us. And we would be yelling at them.
They didn't say that. Where'd they get that from?
It was really good.
Yeah,
so they've had 2 seasons of this. So if you haven't seen any of the seasons, go check it out. It's definitely worth watching because the drama is real. I mean, they're not trying to create anything fake. It was like all real stuff that happened. Mm-hmm. So that was good. So check out Love on Stage if you have not done so. Number 4, we're in our top 5, is you got to get Netflix for this. Number 4 is Indian matchmaking.
We love this show. It's so good.
Yeah, it's about a woman who is from India, from Mumbai, Auntie Seema.
Seema, yeah, I think
Auntie
that's her
Seema
name.
from Mumbai, and
She likes saying that.
she goes around the world, and she matches Indian people who want to have relationships with other Indians of a certain specific culture, specific religion,
But that's their
specific
culture. They match make.
Yeah,
they match make their kids like that.
And that's what. And so it's about she's the matchmaker, and they show the process. It's very, to me, it was very enlightening to see the world of matchmaking from a different culture. And she's very likable, and she's so wise and the way that she gives advice to people and what they should or should not be doing. And so that we started watching that just on the humble, I think during the pandemic. And then now they're in season 3, and so whenever season 2 came out, we would just jump on and start watching it, and it was like so bingeable because like at the end of one episode, there will be like something that's about to happen. He's like, oh shoot, now I gotta watch the next episode,
right?
Or I gotta watch the beginning of it, and then you end up watching the whole thing. It's only like a half an hour each episode, so maybe a little bit more than half an hour, but it's about that much. What's your thoughts about it, Bernie?
It's good. I like it. I mean, it's interesting. It's a little drama, a little bit, because some people they don't be listening to Auntie Seema, and so they get themselves in trouble. But I think it's good. Yeah, I like it. I like to see the Indian culture and how they, I like when they show older couples before they go into the show, like older Indian couples who actually were put together by their parents, and then they're like married like 40 years and 30 something years, and so then they're talking about their lives or whatever. So
that was another thing that I found interesting, how involved the parents are with the
my gosh, they're very, and the kids listen to what the parents think. In Indian culture,
there were a couple episodes where the dad was like looking at the piece of paper like, I don't like his eyes. No, let's move on.
They don't be playing. Okay, they be like, they don't play. They be listening. They go right along. And remember that girl, she got on nerves though, because she wanted
the irritating one, the really, really irritating one.
No, not her. She really got on nerves. I don't know if she ever gonna find anybody, but the other one, a newer one, where she wants somebody, she lived with her mother, but she won't let go. She wants somebody to come in and live, just be all up in her situation.
And that's, girl.
I know. I think she was like a model or something. It's like,
she
girl.
Was Miss India, I think, something like that.
She's not thinking realistically, but
she's so tied to her mom.
She didn't find a match too. Oh, I don't want to tell. I was going to say, because she had to end up in, therapy to help herself. She figured out like, okay, people aren't going to sign up for this.
Yeah, she's so attached to her mom that she's expecting her man to, if not move
have the same attachment,
if not move to her hometown, but like it's going to be me and my mom and then us.
It don't work like that.
It's not going to work like that, little girl. No.
Yeah.
And she's young too, so maybe she'll learn. Okay, so we're down to top 3. Top 3 is a movie that not a movie, but a show that we saw on Prime. So you need Prime. And it was a sleeper.
This was so good.
It was called Undercover. Go ahead, talk about this, Bernie.
This was so long ago when we saw this. It was about a woman who was a lawyer.
In Britain. This is in Britain.
And she was married she had a son, and she was married, and her husband was something. I don't remember what it was about because it was too long ago.
The job her husband had, but her husband had been lying to her their whole relationship.
Yeah.
And it didn't disclose why in the beginning, but it was like, wait a minute, hold on, what's going on? So like by episode 2 or 3, you were like, okay, what's wrong? I mean, this seems like a good husband. Like, why? What's the problem here?
He wasn't who he said he was.
He wasn't who he said he was, and so he had to play the lie their whole marriage, and so
it was crazy.
the episode, the story is about the convergence of his past life, her present life, a case. She's a lawyer, so a case that she was working on, and like some other dynamics that were like completely like you had no idea where this show was coming from or where it was going. And like at the end, you're like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta find out. I think we stayed up and watched like 4. It's only 6 episodes. Yeah, only 6 episodes in this whole series. Yes.
Why it seemed longer?
Because I think we started it at like 12, and or like 11, and we stayed up till like 4 in the morning watching this.
Wait, you said a 6 episode. We started at 12.
At 12, like 11 o'clock at night.
Oh.
We were like, oh, what's this? And we turned it on, and it was like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. I think we ended up going to bed like 4 o'clock because it was like so good. And we had 2 more episodes to go, and then we like had to like watch it another day because we just were so tired.
Yeah.
But this is really a really good.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Series. Yeah,
it's definitely bingeable. It's on Prime, although they talk about you got to buy the whole season for $16.99. I'd wait for it to come back on Prime again.
Oh, it was. We didn't pay for this when we watched it.
No, it was on Prime, but it's not on Prime anymore.
Oh, it's not on Prime anymore. Oh,
yeah, it was, and we were surprised because it was 2016. We're like, we never even heard of it.
Oh, right. It was way after 2016 when we watched it.
Yeah, I think this was one of the pandemic shows that we watched.
Really?
Yep.
I feel like it was before then.
Okay, so the top two, and this one you're gonna also need a app for, and it's the Paramount app, and it is Rabbit Hole.
Oh, Rabbit Hole was so good.
Now, Rabbit Hole was a sleeper. It was a complete sleeper. You know, I like I said, I like movies that's espionage, spy stuff. This was that on like times 10. It was so good. I like Paramount Plus because they have good stories on there. They the stories that the people who produce these shows that go on Paramount Plus are very, very good stories. Like my Navy SEAL stuff is on there. I don't know if you heard of or if you all heard of a Tesla King with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh,
he's a former mobster, and he is let out of prison after 25 years, and he moves to Oklahoma and sets up shop there. Tulsa, Oklahoma, and sets up shop there. Very good story. But anyway, the Rabbit Hole was like a psychological thriller throughout the whole thing. You're not going to know what.
So many surprises. It was like, so what the heck is happening?
Yeah. And
it was good.
I think I heard about it on something. I think I heard that Kiefer Sutherland was about to have a new show on Paramount Plus, and because I know the quality of shows Paramount Plus has, I was like, oh, I want to check this out.
And it was so good because it was put you in the mindset of what's happening in the world today.
Yeah. With fake news and everything.
Yeah, fake news, AI, all this stuff that's happening now. Oh my gosh. It was like, oh my goodness.
And Bernie happened upon it because I was going to watch it. And I was I was sitting down in the couch, and Bernie was we sort of hand off the remote when it's my time to watch my TV.
Right.
She'd be taking over.
I go to another room so I could watch what I want to watch. And so I hand him.
So I was sitting down about to watch a TV show, and I put it on. And the beginning of it, I don't know if it was like if it captivated you or something like that, but you like were sitting on the ottoman, or not the ottoman, the arm of the couch, waiting for a lull in the show, so that you can walk away.
Right.
You ended up sitting there the whole episode.
I never left. It was so good.
It just captivated you
and
immediately.
Was that one? That was episode 1?
That was episode 1, but they released episode 1 and 2 at the same time.
Oh.
So I was like, oh, I got to see episode 2. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Let me sit down. So you sat down and then watched episode 2, and then they released them every week thereafter.
Yeah.
So it was like every week that they released it, it was like, oh, we got to go watch this show.
Like, Heath, Rabbit, it's another episode. We got to watch.
So this was really, really good. If y'all don't have Paramount Plus, check out Paramount Plus. They have great episodes. I don't know if you like Yellowstone. Yellowstone is a great
That's
series.
on here, Paramount Plus.
I think no Yellowstone. It might be on here, but Yellowstone had two prequels. Yellowstone is set in current day, but the prequels were set in like 1888, and then another one is like 1923, and so they show the lives of what happened and how the Dutton family, which is what the Yellowstone show is surrounding, it showed how they became the Dutton family of today. But
that's one of Heath's shows that he watched. Yeah, I don't watch
she
that.
Don't watch that. But the series of 1923, you don't have to watch. You don't have to watch the prequel or Yellowstone, but just watch that. That jump was, that was so good. I was like, at the end of some of the episodes, I would just sit with my mouth open, like
on Yellowstone.
Like, on 1923. Like, oh my gosh, that was so good.
You didn't jump from rabbit hole to that. How to do that?
But I'm talking about Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus has some great TV shows.
Yeah, Rabbit Hole was really, really good, and it's a lot of unpredictability, and we was immersed.
Yeah, we was immersed in all that. We believed everything.
It was drama. It had everything.
And so the final show that we watched, binge watched, was Physical 100
on
Netflix.
This was a trip. This was
Physical
good.
100. Talk about that, Birdie.
And it's not, no, you talk about it. I can't remember. It was just, but wait, when they're talking, I feel like they're not talking English.
No, it's a Korean. It's the same producers as Squid Games. Squid Games, yeah. So
it's a bunch of people that come. You're gonna have to clean this up because I came in once again. He was watching this, and then I would start watching while he was watching, and I got stuck looking at it like, oh, this is interesting. But it looked like it's these people from all different countries.
No, it's from Korea.
They all from Korea.
From South Korea.
Okay, but they all from different walks of life. Like one might be a wrestler, one is a boxer, or one is a swimmer, or one is I don't know. They do all kinds of things. A tree climber or something. Remember that guy who climbed trees?
They were auditioning for. Well, they were doing a casting call for the most fit people in South Korea, and they got 100 of them, and they had them come to a studio.
Yeah.
And it was like none of them knew each other. None of them knew what they were going to do. None of them knew what the premise of it was. But they all arrived, and they showed them all arriving. Like the first episode was showing them all arrive, and they took a bust, a clay bust of their body, of the waist up, and they put them on pedestals.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they walked in the room, you see 100 busts on pedestals.
And you're supposed to go stand next to yours.
And you got to stand next to your one. And so people are walking in like, oh, who is this? And then people would see like, oh, there's so-and-so.
Yeah, because it was like famous
wrestler. He's a famous this. He's a national Olympic cyclist. And you had to be really, really fit.
The stuff they had them do, though.
And they had them doing very physical, fit activities.
And this is men and women.
Yeah, men and women. It was no men versus women or women over here. No, it was like, okay, this is man, woman against woman, man against man, everybody against everybody. 100 against 100. And you got, kicked out if you didn't pass a certain episode. They had one black guy on there.
Test,
that was Korean. No, I don't know if he was black.
He was black. I don't know.
He spoke Korean. That's what he is.
Yeah, he did because he wasn't speaking English.
And they had a baseball player on there, a major league baseball player that used to play in the NBL, National Major League Baseball, MLB. He was on there, and he lives in Korea now. But they had so many activities, and it was so what's the word? You just were immersive. That's what it was. Immersive.
Because what was funny is they didn't know, and we didn't know what they was gonna have them do. So they would all line up behind some wall, whatever. Then the two teams would go out into wherever the warehouse, and it'd be set up whatever they're gonna do. So if some of the teams look like they have like a He-Man, a real strong person, and then some might seem they muscle bound, but not as big as like a wrestler or something.
Yeah.
But when you walk in, you may not, the activity may not need muscle. It may need brains, or it may need endurance.
Yeah.
It was just so good.
It had a lot of different. They had the one. I think the one that got us hooked on it was when you had to go against this one. It was man against man, woman against woman. You had to.
Oh,
there was a medicine ball in a I would say an obstacle course, not an obstacle course.
Like a playground.
It was like a playground. Yeah, let's call it a playground.
Different stuff inside the playground.
One playground had a jungle gym. The other one had a pond in it. And so there's a medicine ball.
And a big rock. Or oh, yeah, a pond. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a medicine ball. And the goal of it is that you have to be holding the medicine ball at the end of 2 minutes.
Yes.
That's the goal. So, and they put you both at a starting line behind a gate. And then they count down 3, 2, 1, and they open the gates. Well, you open the gates, and then
run in.
You can either run in, grab the medicine ball, and run for your life for 2 minutes. But most of the guys, they would walk in all slow, like, yeah.
Some of them would run.
Some of them would run, but some of the guys would walk in. It was like, yeah, we just gonna fight. I mean, and there was no illegal moves or anything like that. I think they were respectful. They didn't like go straight hands to the face.
Yeah, no.
But they had some wrestling matches, and they
were like, I'm going to be holding this ball no matter what at the end of this
like,
2 minutes.
I don't care. Like, you can run all you want. I'm going to catch you and I'm going to beat you down. And it was like, and then what was funny to watch was,
and the people could watch.
All of the participants would watch like every match.
They were like on a
like a tiered stand,
looking over while the people
down in the pit.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, so and so's gonna fight. Ooh, so and so's gonna fight."
Yeah,
and they was like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." And so they would be like hyping you up, thinking like, "Oh, who are they?"
Who is that? Yeah,
because everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
So it was really, really good.
That was good. Does it come on again?
They may have a season 2. I don't know.
Oh,
but it's season 1. It's definitely worth binging. And
that was good.
That's our number 1.
Yeah.
So let us know what y'all think about these 15 shows that we watched. Let us know which ones that you liked. If you got some recommendations about the ones that we can watch, please let us know, because that's one of the things that we do to have fun. We sometimes Bernie will say, "Do we have any shows to watch together?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think. I think all
we
I only have
them.
my own stuff, and you got your own stuff."
Yeah.
But when the new season comes out for some of these shows, we definitely will be right on the couch in our positions, talking trash, watching our shows.
Yeah.
But let us know what y'all shows are. Let us know what your preferences are. Let us know what you think about these shows. Hopefully, we put y'all on to something new. But yeah, again, if you see these episodes, please go back and follow us on YouTube and Instagram, and subscribe to us. Subscribe to the show. Thank you all for the comments and that you're giving us. And anything else, Bernie?
Nope, that's about it.
Okay. Thank you all. And we out.